Hello, beautiful being. You're watching this likely because you are bleeding and on your periods and having this time where you may be feeling all the feels. So I work with beings on a one-to-one basis often, and we talk a lot about resting in our winter. And so this is a yoga flow to honor your bleed. I'm Naomi. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to this beautiful, nourishing, wonderful flow, this time just to be with you and your bleed. And all you're going to need is yourself. You're going to need yourself a bolster or pillows if you have one. Please be doing this in your bed. Come to your mat if you want to come to your mat, but knowing that you could be doing this wherever you feel most nourished. And grabbing yourself a blanket, and I'll be back here whenever you're ready in your own time. There's no need for yoga trousers. Grabbing yourself your comfiest trousers, your comfiest onesie, and just bringing yourself all the love today. Okay, we're going to start by having this really wonderful lie down, and it may be that you need to find yourself on your side. Maybe there's a hot water bottle, whatever you need. And I will just say a few things before we start, that there's a few things we should remember when we're on our periods, and I just want these words to land with you as they need to land. But essentially, nobody should be in horrific pain when they're on their period. That isn't right, and society has deemed that as normal, and that is not normal. No one should be in that level of pain. And second of all, it's just really important to note that I have been through it. So I used to have debilitating pains. I had debilitating ovulation pains and period pains. And then I learned ways to support myself. And there's loads of ways I have done this, a lot of inner work. And this is why I open up my doors and I have people that come to see me on a one-to-one. So if you're watching this and you're like, I want to be, to a point where I'm basically pain-free, then know it's possible with dedication, know it's possible with some kind of support and insight, and I can 100% support you with that. I've been there, I've done it. So I can now, if I'm caught out on my period, find myself in a space where I can be nourished and supported. And if I do need to be doing things, it's okay, I'm not in debilitating pains, because I've been through some pretty embarrassing scenarios with it. And it's embarrassing because society makes it feel like it is, and you feel like a burden, and you're not. You're 100% not. And so when we're on our periods, when we're bleeding, we should really be resting. In yoga, there should be no twisting. No twisting with the womb space. We should be keeping our wombs warm, and we should just be really loving ourselves and nourishing ourselves. So I can talk for England about this, and let me know in the comments if you want me to do a whole video on how to support yourself in your winter. But for now, finding yourself on the mat, resting down. Maybe you have a pillow. Oh my gosh, and I have got the sun. So I actually don't think I'm going to move for this flow. I'm just going to be in the sunshine. That feels so nice. So finding yourself, holding your womb space, bringing in some love, and we're going to bring in some circles if you feel you can, if the pain and discomfort isn't too much for you, and just really bring in some nourishing circles. My job, my work is predominantly massaging yonis and womb spaces, so I understand the importance of massaging the womb, but not on our period. We don't massage our womb spaces on our period. Really, not when we're bleeding. We don't steam when we're on our period. We don't do anything like that for the womb, but we can just bring in a bit of touch, because what we do is we disassociate from this area when there's been this stress, this trauma, this wounding, this when there's this discomfort, when there's almost this like anger at the womb space and at being a cyclical being. So just bringing in this touch, moving in circles around the womb space, breathing in, exhaling down, touching in with her today. And I always say one of the biggest things we can do is feel into the pain, which seems so weird and wild, but I always equate this to people who go into operations without anesthetics. You know, those people that do that because they utilize their breath, they come into their bodies. So breathing there, loving her, nourishing her. Just all we were doing is gentle touch. You're not moving anything. You're not moving any of the muscles or the fascia here. You're just massaging the skin, but bringing in love with the breath. Darling womb space, loving you so, loving you for finding this time on the mat. And if you feel like this is not possible for you, then you could just be curled on your side in this space with me today. Breathing into her. Letting anything go that you can. And I want you to set a seed of intention here for this cycle, for this new cycle that you've started today, remembering that day one is the beginning of your new cycle. A lot of people don't know that, but know that day one is the day one of your first full bleed. So what is the seed of intention for this cycle that you want to plant in your womb space today? Because that is something that you're going to literally birth through. When letting go of the blood, letting go and having this cleanse, you're going to cleanse it through and give it to Mother Earth. So setting a seed today. Okay. And now I want you to literally come and lie on your right or your left side. Find yourself supporting your head. Finding yourself holding your womb. And just breathing here. Inhaling to the womb, exhaling, lowering deeper, softening into the floor, into the bed. Excuse me. And maybe you need to bring your knees higher to really feel into the back. Sometimes there's pain radiating into the back. Inhaling, coming into the center and stretching out. So finding yourself stretching the back, stretching out, pointing the toes and relaxing. Stretching, 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 and relaxing. And now you're going to bring your hands to your womb, bringing your toes together, so finding yourself with your toes together here, into butterfly, allowing the stretch in the ligaments here, in the groin, in the pelvis. It can be a really beautiful release, and if you need some massage and bring in touch, I really recommend this, because this somatic touch can really help us just to move stuff around the body, moving whatever needs to be moved. Breathing to open into the groin area, exhaling to relax the legs, feeling into the flow, feeling into the bleed, feeling into that seed of intention that you've planted, and allowing it to be birthed out when you feel ready today. You're just going to keep breathing into that seed, allowing it to grow, and at some point during this flow, you're going to allow it to be birthed out and through. Maybe you need to arch the back, exhaling. Inhaling slowly, exhaling, bringing the legs together, finding yourself folding over to the right and coming and rolling right down, coming into all fours, and then in a wide-legged, so keeping the knees either side of the mat here, we're going to reach down with the bottom, stretching out the arms, resting the head onto the mat, just allowing yourself to be in this active child's pose, breathing into the back for expanding the back, feeling into any feels, breathing into the womb, into that seed, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling to come out, and we're just going to arch the back, bringing it up, exhaling, inhaling, just to move into cat-cow, exhaling, inhaling into cat-cow, and then just doing whatever you need to do. I often find one of the good tools, my favourite tools on my period. Well, first up, a physical tool is my drum. I love my drum on my period, just a drum over my room space. But another tool can be just to have some shamanic music, really like beautiful shamanic music. I've got a bleeding playlist on my Spotify. So some shamanic music, and I'll make sure I add my Spotify in my notes. I don't think that's in there as I speak now, but I'll make sure that it's in there, and you can see my bleeding playlist, and you can just literally be like moving into the body as you need. And I've also done this in the pre-menstrual flow so that you can really feel into that, but we do that for a bit longer, but we're not going to do that for too long today. And when you're ready, coming back into the center, when you've moved into everything that you need to move through, and we're going to find ourselves just into a child's pose, but this time knees together and arms behind, and just forehead on the mat, folding here, breathing into that seed again. Exhaling, rolling the head. I'm going to place my glasses here. I can just roll my forehead.
Inhaling, exhaling, rolling down further, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. And on the next inhale, coming up, keeping the knees bent and just stretching the head as you need, so just rolling the head one way and the other way, just rolling it. I just had an amazing click, so wherever you need, looking down, lifting up, right back, keeping the back straight, shoulders away, looking left, looking right. And go back into the middle. Okay, so the final part, and you can be in this for as long as you need, is you're going to grab your bolster. My bolster is one of my go-to things when I'm on my bleed. Feels so good just to place like a hot water bottle here. And you can find yourself like leaning over onto it, onto the hot water bottle. And you can be like whatever position that you need. Maybe it's between the thighs like this, but you're just basically, you could pile up cushions to do the same thing if you don't have a bolster. And you could grab yourself a blanket. Find your blanket over you like this. And just lying down. And I want you to lie here for a moment, keeping the eyes closed, breathing in through the heart space, into the womb space, feeling into the back, feeling into wherever you need to. Okay, I'm just going to read. I'm going to give you a final visualization while you're in this position. So keeping you there in that position, and I'm just going to allow you to feel into one final visualization today. Breathing here in through the nose, throat, nose, throat, heart space, womb, exhaling. I want you to imagine that there is a pink light in your womb and a pink light in your heart. And with every breath, the pink light grows and glows just a little more. Now this pink light glows so much in your heart space that it begins to flow down into the womb. And that pink light is in your womb is now met by the heart spaces, pink light, and they just merge into one. So every breath, inhaling pink light heart, pink light flowing down into the womb, swirling the womb, swirling that seed of intention that's grown. Maybe there's leaves, maybe there's a flower. And now you're going to imagine one final part. This seed is now too much just for you to hold on to. You need to give it to Mother Earth to continue to grow it and support you with this seed of intention. So letting it out, letting it flow down with the blood into Mother Earth. Imagining it going straight into Mother Earth, alongside this pink light, alongside the blood.
this seed of intention. And in your own time, you can stay here for as long as you need, but you can allow the light to fade and just be here. Maybe you need a snooze, a sleep now. Maybe you could honor that need for a nap. Maybe you could just go slower into the day. Maybe it's bedtime. Just honoring yourself with your needs right now as you bleed. Loving you, wonderful one, loving you. Namaste.